Welcome back to A10 Media Day, and I am joined by the head coach of Loyola Chicago women's basketball, Allison Guth. Coach, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
It's been an exciting day. So many players around, coaches. College basketball is coming back, and we are excited. This is your fourth season with this team. Where do you feel like the growth of this program has been over the last 4 years?
It's been methodical and process-oriented in how we've built. I really like the jump from year one to year two. We always talk it's about the review and not the preview. So in that season when we were picked 15th, when there were still 15 in the conference, and we're able to make that jump to 8, I was pleased in a year's time what we could accomplish. But success is more like a jungle gym than a ladder. And so I felt like last year we took our hits and put us in this position this year. But from a coaching perspective, I couldn't be any more grateful. There's just those years going into 21 years for me coaching Division I women's hoops. You have some groups that are just special. They're just like coachable and they find some joy in it. So I'm looking forward to just going to battle with people that I could be in the trenches with, so I'm enjoying it right now.
Yeah. The days are long, but the years are shorter, is what you told me. Coach, let's talk about some freshmen that you feel like may have an immediate impact on your squad this season.
We brought in 3, and I particularly just want to talk about Alex. And this young woman is an unbelievably gifted basketball player. We spotted her through a coach that I know and have a tremendous amount of respect for in Canada. But it's the short amount of time I've had with her where I think she has a future in the game of basketball. She's one of those gifted players that could play literally 1 through 5. And I haven't coached a kid like that in a really, really long time. But her versatility and it's the feel for the game that it's a joy to be around. I just often think about Gino talking about players and particularly bad players running plays and good players knowing plays because they understand making reads and differences. And the kid's got a feel that kind of rubs off onto the rest of the team. So I'm really excited for you guys to get a chance to see her play.
Man, so are we, because that's how freshmen make impact, right? It's not that you know everything, it's that you have the feel to figure it out. Now, I know you've got pretty much a split roster. Half of them are returning, half of them are brand new. How are you getting the chemistry on the court to grow? Where do you want it?
Yeah, I think that anytime you're going into year 4, you're hoping that the returners are coming back with a foundational piece of some of the standards that you've set for just how we live on the daily, how we do things. Our identity is we've always wanted to defend, rebound, and run, and to be quite frank, I keep it a buck, and we haven't done that well in the A10 yet. We want to play with a faster pace in transition. We admire the talent of the league and how people are playing with 5 out and really skilled, but we haven't been good on the rebounding end, and we knew we had to impact that. And so I think that when you talk about the returners bring a sense of like, this is who we want to be, and the incoming say, yes, this is what we signed up for, and now it's putting our money where our mouths are and actually getting it done.
Awesome. Well, thank you for keeping it a bug with me, Coach Guth. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Back to you, Mike and Christy.
All right, appreciate it, Ice. Loyola women's basketball, and we're going to hear from her again in a little bit, as well as Drew Valentine on the men's side.
Yeah, and they have a great non-conference foe. They're playing at UConn this year, and that's going to be a huge challenge. And you heard Coach Guth talking about how Gino would reference just being able to make proper reads, right? And there's nothing worse than when you're coaching and the play after the first 2 or 3 actions gets blown up by the opponents, and then they're looking over at you like, what do we run? I'm like, pick and roll, baby, pick and roll. Like, you just have to make a read after that, right? So I think that's what she was talking about. Make organic decisions on the court on the offensive side, and then make some things happen. And there's a difference in players like that. So
Allison Guth on the women's side now gets to speak to everyone.
We'll ask Coach to make an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions. Go ahead, Coach.
I'll just be brief. I'm really excited for the start of the 2025-26 season. Our team has been working really, really hard, and they're a joyful group to coach going into year 21. For me personally, of coaching Division I women's hoops, there's just some teams that you just have a chemistry with and the buy-in. I think we all feel that way as coaches. It's the honeymoon experience right now up until October when it goes down, but I can tell you right now there's something really, really special brewing in Chicago, and so we're looking forward to it being about the review and not the preview of where we were ranked to put us on the map.
Questions in the front?
Allison, Zach Weiss, Atlantic10.com. I have to ask you the question I ask you this time of year all the time. You love the film, you love the review. What did you see, and how did you gear that towards what you want this year's team to look like?
Zach, it's good to see you. I just don't think we knew who we were identity-wise, what we were trying to be, but we weren't that consistently on a daily basis. We want Loyola women's basketball to defend, rebound, and run. We want to play at a pace and play in transition. We weren't fast enough last year. We want to play selfless basketball where we're sharing it a ton. And so we're stepping away, and we spent the summer really working on playing to this team's strengths, recruiting the right talent in order to be effective in this league. And when you say evaluation of film and where we're at, we need to rebound the ball better on both sides of the ball, create second chance opportunities, and stop our opponents. And that has to do with interior post presence, the ability to be able to get a quick, easy bucket inside and secure the rebound. And I think we've addressed that a little bit in our recruiting. And we have a good chemistry between our guards and post on how they're playing this year. So we're excited about that.
Zach. Keep you busy.
Zach, you're the best.
Checks in the mail, Allison, thank you. If you can highlight the trio of returners, obviously flanked by the lady to your right, just what do you make of the returners and how each of them has taken that challenge and stepped on to find their next?
Kira's always been somebody who I think learned from somebody we treasure in our program, Sam Galanopoulos, as a point guard in terms of her toughness and grit. We celebrate something we call here strength up the middle, just head, heart, guts. And I think for me, going into year 4, it's pretty fantastic being able to start the season with somebody I trust, somebody that has poured her heart and soul into this team. And I think she's always showed up on the defensive end. She'll get up in someone's chili. She's, I think, the toughest person when you extend yourself 94 feet to have to handle the ball against because of the way she defends. But we're going to rely on her a lot this year on both her vocal leadership and the way that she runs us in terms of both pace of play and getting the ball in the right hands of where we're looking to score and becoming a more of a scoring threat. Bringing in that type of leadership with Kira, but having returners like Alexa Kinnis, who comes in back as a sophomore, but has an unbelievable ability to impact the game from her mid-range and from her versatility and athleticism is going to be key for us. And then I think we bring some young talent in. I really am excited about a player we got from Canada, Alexandre Bissett, and one of the more gifted basketball players, but just has a feel for the game. I just think when I look at our team, we constantly stress, bad players run plays, good players know plays and know how to divert and feel and make adjustments. And this kid just has that feel for it. And so I think when we bring youth in and young players in that understand that with the experience, it's going to be a good combination for us.
Matt Maderno from Mid-Major Madness. You talked about chemistry there and incorporating some new pieces. How do you do that quickly in the transfer portal era and make sure that you're protecting that chemistry but also developing it with those new players quickly?
Good question. Well, we want to win, and we want to win more. And so I think that we had some great foundational pieces, and I was pleased with our efforts when we were year 1 to year 2, picked last in the league and made a jump and earning a big, I would say, bye in the first A10 round and getting our first A10 win. But success is much like a jungle gym, more than a ladder. And so last year I thought we underachieved in many ways. So you ask a great question because there's some foundational pieces of just holding ourselves to a standard and how we do things on the daily. And I think that takes time in order to live it. You can speak it, you can say it, but living it is very different. And so I think it's the returners' jobs to bring in those transfers and 7 new players into the fold of the standard is the standard, and this is what it's going to take to win. And so I think our celebration of team ego over everything else is huge. And then it's the returners understanding, hey, we haven't got it done yet. And that humility to understand that we're bringing in talent and different people and pieces to be able to bring us to where we want to go. So there's a bit of selflessness, and I loved what Drew Valentine, our counterpart, talked about in terms of having a low ego as a personal standpoint. So that's how I think we do it. There's a foundation here going into year 4, but there's a hunger because we want to be at a different place in terms of getting dubs.
Kira, the journey that you've had from being a leader, having that vocality, trusting your vocality, what's that journey been like for you, and what do you draw from to inspire that within your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, like Coach Guth was saying earlier, I've had some great leaders before me, and like Sam Gallinopoulos, and even just with this coaching staff and me developing my voice and learning to be more vocal, I think just the environment that I've been in has definitely helped me grow in that aspect. And I think with the people that we have coming in, all have the same desire and the same hunger, and we want to put Loyola Chicago on the map. So it just makes everything a little easier when everyone's on the same page, top to bottom.
To both of you, what was the thing you learned about yourselves and team last year that you really want to carry over to this team and this group this year?
Zach, personally, I want to simplify things for our players. I was really stoked, and I think when we are coaches, you're a professor of that classroom and the basketball court, and I was super pumped about studying Danny Hurley's 5-out system and having a lot of off-ball actions that were going to be hiding what we were really trying to get out of what we were doing with our 5-out. And I think there was a lot of complexity to what we were trying to do. And I think that the ability to simplify, it's really not, all great teachers know it's not what you know, it's what your players know, but their ability to understand how to play the game better, how to understand decision making. And I feel like, you know, we're 50-some practices in when you count our summer, and I'm really excited about the way we've slowed things down and just understand spatial awareness, pace, and decision-making. And I think that is going to translate big time into our players being able to make better basketball decisions on the floor. So I learned that I needed to simplify some things personally.
Yeah, I definitely think that one of the biggest things that we as a team have worked on is making in-game adjustments a little quicker. I think that was a big struggle for us, and I think over the summer and during this preseason, we've really worked on making timely adjustments and trying to go into every game with a faceless opponent. So it's the same person no matter if we're playing UConn or if we're playing Bradley. It's the same thing, top to bottom, and just attacking it with the same mindset.
I'll be attacking those two opponents a little differently, but I love that, Kira, faceless opponent.
Do we have any additional questions?
Mel, you like that.
No more questions? Coach, we're free.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Allison's right. It's not what you know, it's what they know.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the play unfolding and then it gets taken away and it's like the kids are confused and it's like, no, you have to know that. We worked on it. So, yeah.
Correct.
I love to hear Kira talk about the pride that she has playing in that program and just the fierceness that she said, you know, the faceless opponent, right? That's
Right.
what you want to hear from your kids if you're coaching. You want to see like what they're going to do in adverse situations. And it's not who you're playing, but it's how you're playing. And I think she described that really well. And she also has organized an Alzheimer awareness fundraiser for her grandfather. So I think that's something that speaks to her character off the court as well as on.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point. The Loyola Chicago Ramblers